Hi everyone, I'm Swati, a PhD student at Wright State University. Today I'll be presenting our paper on predicting early indicators of cognitive decline from verbal utterances on behalf of my co-authors. Let us see the outline of the presentation. I will introduce the domain and motivation, then I'll describe the dataset we used in this study, and then I'll present our method and results. I'll conclude the presentation with conclusion and future work. Oftentimes, we hear people using the terms Alzheimer's and dementia interchangeably. However, they are not the same. Dementia is an umbrella term used to describe a group of symptoms, and Alzheimer's is one of the many subtypes of dementia. In fact, there are over 400 types of dementia. Dementia affects each person differently depending on a variety of factors, such as the part of the brain affected and the individual's personality. So besides the most commonly known symptom of poor memory, there are many other signs that we should look out for. While some types of dementia such as normal pressure hydrocephalus can be reversed and cured, which is about maybe 20% of the cases, most types of dementia are irreversible, and hence there are things within our control that can help to manage the symptoms of this condition and slow its progression if identified at an early stage. Current laboratory methods, however, for the early detection of dementia are limited to expensive and invasive brain imaging techniques such as CT scans, PET scans, MRI, some neurological examinations, mental state examinations, and many other manual physical examinations. Hence, the feasibility of an automatic, cost-effective, and non-invasive solution for early and frequent monitoring of a larger cohort of the aging population depends on identifying dementia at the earliest possible stage of cognitive impairment. Moreover, people suffering from mild cognitive impairment may not exhibit the symptoms of dementia, such as impaired judgment or trouble with reasoning. Hence, we investigate a combination of data-driven and theory-driven approaches in designing a computational clinical diagnostic model to identify early symptoms of cognitive deficits due to healthy aging, which can be a confounder from those of mild cognitive impairment, that is MCI, which can also be a precursor to dementia leading to Alzheimer's disease. The potential clinical utility of our work can be the ability to predict the mild cognitive impairment phenotype before it develops into Alzheimer's disease. Now I'll describe our dataset. So for this study, we used PITcorpus, which is a resource from the Dementia Bank repository that has been frequently used by computational linguists. This corpus is a collection of interviews conducted during a longitudinal study for the Alzheimer's research program between 1983 and 1988 at the University of Pittsburgh. It was a part of the TalkBank project. It consists of transcripts and recordings of English-speaking participants describing this cookie theft picture image, which is a component of the Boston Diagnostic FSCI examination. All participants underwent an extensive neurological, neuropsychological, psychiatric, and physical assessment. They were asked to describe this image, and then their answers were manually transcribed. This corpus contains 550 transcripts of the cookie theft picture task, where 310 participants, including 209 people with some stage and type of dementia, and 102 normal elderly controls, aged between 45 to 90 years, described what was going on in the picture. People with cognitive deficits include those with mild cognitive impairment, probable and possible Alzheimer's disease, and people with other types of dementia. In this figure, we show the distributional statistics for the Dementia Bank samples used in this study. We utilized 242, 43, 21, and 236 transcripts belonging to participants clinically diagnosed to be elderly control, people with mild cognitive impairment, possible Alzheimer's disease, and probable Alzheimer's disease respectively. The remaining interviews were not used in this study due to significantly low sample numbers. We saw some example responses from participants diagnosed under the 4 diagnostic categories considered in this study here below in this example. And we did correctly identify all of those transcripts. We'll see in the discussion further. Again, now I'll describe our feature extraction model. To learn the distributional contextual representation of words representing the context, we extracted features using language models. So we used pre-trained BERT uncased model weights to generate 1024 dimension embeddings for each transcript. And then in order to avoid overfitting, we used principal component analysis on the embeddings to reduce the dimensionality of the feature space to 300. Furthermore, we also extracted 108 psycholinguistic features from Cometric psycholinguistic tool. This is a tool which has been widely utilized by computer psycholinguistic researchers. We retained 28 most important features from the 108 features that we obtained after normalization, removal of features with low variance, and L1 regularization. We investigate in this study given a new transcript of verbal utterances, whether we can identify the person's diagnosis stage and type of cognitive decline. To do so, we conducted 2 sets of experiments and evaluated the model performance with 3 different input feature groupings, as you can see here. The 3 different groups are the first one being theory-driven numerical psycholinguistic features extracted from Cometrics, the second one being data-driven contextual BERT embeddings, and the third one being the concatenation of both Cometric features and BERT embeddings. Why we did that is because in the third, we investigate the viability of combining both theory-driven and data-driven features. As shown in the top table here, we formulate a 3-class classification problem, that is to classify transcripts of healthy, elderly controls, people with MCI, and people with probable Alzheimer's disease. To identify the early indicators of gradual cognitive decline, that is MCI, mild cognitive decline, impairment. To understand our model's feasibility to identify a new verbal utterance from a person diagnosed with possible Alzheimer's disease, we used the best performing model obtained here, and then we classified the transcripts from people with possible Alzheimer's disease. When we used the best performing model to predict labels on the transcript from people with possible AD, more than 50%, that is 13 out of 21 samples, were identified as to be probable AD, indicating that the model had learned the similarity between verbal utterances of people with possible AD and probable AD, irrespective of their origin or cause. Hence, in order to distinguish the samples of people diagnosed with probable AD and possible AD, we further designed a 4-class classification setting, that is elderly healthy controls, people with MCI, possible AD, and probable AD. In all of our experiments, our model trained with contextual embeddings was able to identify more verbal utterances with elderly healthy controls correctly, given that elderly people tend to display a sound contextual memory. However, our models were able to identify more transcripts of people with mild cognitive impairment and probable Alzheimer's disease correctly with new psycholinguistic features added, as they captured the loss of coherency, which can be a characteristic of cognitive decline. The low precision and recall in MCI and possible Alzheimer's disease is indicative of the challenge in distinguishing them from the speech patterns of elderly controls and probable Alzheimer's disease respectively, with highly imbalanced and limited dataset. We believe that the decline in context memory and the variability in linguistic characteristics complemented each other to effectively distinguish the spoken language patterns in order to identify the various stages and types of cognitive decline. Using contextual language embeddings, the combined model trained on both data and theory-driven features was able to capture the contextual memory deficits. This is consistent with the fact that elderly controls tend to display better context memory in verbal utterances than people with cognitive impairment, who tend to lose the thread of a conversation. For example, this is the same figure in the examples. So if we can see, highlighted in blue, the person with mild cognitive impairment tends to go out of context and start talking about how he or she uses a dishwasher to do the dishes at home, which is just pots and pans, and then they consume eggs in the morning. The person with probable Alzheimer's disease also loses context in the middle, talking about how the father is not coming, while there is no indication of a fatherly image in the picture. Hence, concluding the work, we address the issue of predicting early indicators of dementia from spoken language, which can assist clinicians in distinguishing the complexity in symptomatic, non-invasive examinations. This is the first work, to the best of our knowledge, to identify 4 clinical diagnosis groups of dementia in a multi-class setting with limited data. And we do plan to extend this study, including more psycholinguistic features to automatically identify various speech symptoms such as repetitiveness, confusion, problems with thinking and reasoning, and forgetting the names of everyday objects. Thank you.